Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to our open house here at Latona's. The open house today is for whosephoneIsit.com. Uh, the broker for this site is Jamie Albano. He's unavailable today to make this the open house, and we have the seller on the line, and it is Mark Ayubi. How do I pronounce that? Mark, I apologize.
Ayub. Ayub,
Ayub.
that's fine. Yep.
Mark Ayub. So
Perfect.
we're going to go ahead and get started, and there's going to be a little couple of house cleaning stuff we got to go through. If you already haven't dialed into the audio bridge, please do so now. You can use your computer's integrated audio to listen in. During the call, everybody's going to be on mute, so if you've got any questions, please do so using the questions feature in the webinar control panel. And then I will generally try to field all the questions at the end of the webinar unless I get one that's pertinent during a particular slide. So let's get started. This is the deal right here. As you can see, it's got an annual revenue of around $11,000 per year. The asking price is $37,000, so it's just over 3 times the net. Gets about 80,000 uniques a month. With about 100,000 page views. Site's been active since early 2014, so pretty much almost a year. And that's the basics of that one. So go ahead, Mark. What can you tell me a little bit about this? This is, I'm assuming, the front page of the site.
Yeah, exactly. That's the front page of the site. Basically, the way I got this, the idea to put this together was that I simply got a phone call one day, like we all do, unknown number, and just punched it up in Google and got the idea. I saw that there was some, reverse phone lookup type stuff out there, and I thought, hey, what if I could find a way to kind of, do something with this? I'm kind of entrepreneurial in some ways, so I'm always kind of thinking of these things. I'm also a programmer, although I specialize in a totally different niche. I'm not like an SEO expert or anything like that, but I put the site together, and it's been good. It's been making money. So yeah, that's the front page of the site.
Okay.
And if you want to flip that.
And this is just a way back, which doesn't really apply to this much because it is such a new site. So we'll just, that just kind of goes to show you that there was some action in it starting back in the early 2014. This is just your Google Analytics. Now, if I recall, Jamie told me that you hadn't really been planning on selling the site before, so there really wasn't a use for the analytics. So you basically just put the analytics on once you listed the site. Is that correct?
That's pretty much it. It was around November 25th, and I just, in the interest of SEO and that kind of thing, I figured less is more in some ways, so I didn't put the analytics. And then, of course, once I decided to sell the site, of course, everybody wants to see what kind of traffic it gets. So,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. And then, as we can see here, obviously it's almost. Now, are you only are you purchasing traffic, or is it just all coming? What it's just only coming from the U.S., huh?
Yeah, that's a great question. That slide you showed, I think it was first couple of slides there where it had the data and the money and the Alexa ranking, I think was like 249,000. Well, that's global. It's really around in the 60,000 range, ranking range here in the U.S. And this is really geared toward the U.S. I mean, there's about 800 and something thousand phone numbers when you look at all of the area code prefixes and 10,000 combinations of each one of those. And so basically it's just the US. So people in the US type in the phone number into a search engine, and this is all organic. I don't spend a penny on advertising or on traffic or anything like that.
Okay. So nothing, just it's all coming in. That's
Just
that's
search engine.
gotta love that.
Yep.
So I guess tell me a little bit about this slide here.
Okay, so I guess just basically what I just said about the organic there, you can
Right.
kind of see it right there. Direct, that's people, I guess, just remembering the website and coming back to it. And then referral, 183. I don't know. I guess there's some kind of links out there somewhere. I didn't put them out there, but I guess when you have uh, 800,000 pages in Google, so you'll end up somewhere on these
Right.
different
Right.
pages. All right.
So you have 800,000. There's, yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
then this is just from your analytics here. It kind of shows the keywords and stuff. So
Yeah, it's showing, I guess, some of the more popular ones at the time the screenshot was taken, and uh, you know, yeah, that's basically it. All the different
it's just phone
sessions.
numbers. It's kind of hard
Yeah,
to say
yeah,
that, but this is just basically from not provided. I'm assuming it's coming in from all the other phone numbers through the past.
exactly.
So, and this is just the majestic kind of. I mean, it's kind of hard to show some of this for this particular because you didn't have some of this tracking on there until real recently. So, but
Right.
you got it's got in the short time it's been up, you've already got 114 backlinks and only 9 referring domains. So, but like you said, it's all about just people clicking in their phone numbers more so than anything.
Exactly.
So maybe this tell me a little bit about this one. It talks about the backlinks and
Yeah, Jamie, the Ryan, I'm sorry. The backlinking is it's nothing that I did. I'm not any kind of backlink expert. So this is really just a matter of robots out there, computer robots crawling the internet, finding pages and kind of, maybe some automated or automatic stuff where it links them in and that kind of stuff. I'm not like, I was never engaged in actually getting backlinks. And I know it's kind of like, this is kind of a different animal, this website, in that the keywords are phone numbers, and what drives it is people just getting unknown calls or telemarketer calls or whatever it is, missed calls, and not knowing the phone number and punching it up in the search engine, and
right.
then a page, one of these pages from whosephoneisit.com, coming up, and then they try and do a reverse phone, a who is.
So
Um,
you found that that's the majority of your traffic is just people wondering what number it is that called them, huh? I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, there's a little over 800,000, phone numbers, or I'm sorry, pages, um, in with all these phone numbers, and yeah, you're just going to have. And I said something earlier. It's the area code and the prefix, and there's a page for each area code and prefix, not an individual one for each phone number.
wow.
So, but still, that's sufficient for these to come up in the search engine and people to
Right.
type them in and do a lookup.
Okay. So this again is just talking about your backlinks and
Yeah,
just shows a few backlinks here. Nothing much more to talk about this one really a whole lot.
right.
This is odd. I don't know why it only shows 1 month. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to review some of these, but it looks like currently in November of 2014, it was about 82,000 uniques. And I don't suppose you have anything in front of you. You can tell me what we're currently running at right now, can you?
I don't at the
Okay,
moment.
no problem. Is it still running around the same though?
It fluctuates. So it
Okay,
did drop December, like close to Christmas. It dropped. It spiked up again. I think beginning of January, and it just kind of moves up and down. You know.
okay. So this, what is this page? Is this just kind of how what someone's going to push in their phone number there, and then they hit send, and then that's kind of what it's doing right now is searching for the phone number as we speak.
Exactly. Yeah, the first page
Okay.
we looked at, they punch in the phone number, they hit, search now, and then boom, you'll see this for a second, and then the next, uh, and then here you are. Then, when the phone number's found, actually there's a page kind of uh, right before this that it goes to where it says, hey, we found the information on this phone number, and we can provide the name and the address and et cetera, all the details. Then they come to this page, and this is the checkout page where they can actually purchase the information.
Okay, so you don't really release much information at all to them until they stick a little bit of money in there. It looks like, huh?
Exactly. And let me say something about this also, Ryan. Uh, This is through I'm providing data. Like this is totally hands off for me. I mean, it almost you almost want to complicate it because people have a hard time kind of wrapping their head around it. Because we've had some questions where it's like, but there's got to be more that you do, and really there's not. I mean, the biggest thing that I do with this is literally just check to see, how much it made today, and then of course checking when the money's deposited into my bank account every week, and even this part, even delivering, I'm using a third party where we're getting the data and running the cards and the whole shebang. And then then it's just a matter of they deliver the information. So once they buy here, they're taken offsite. They're processed offsite, and then they get their data by email and on the screen. And uh, so I
And then
just
do
wanted
you
to
just
kind of
get a percentage of that then? So are you more of an affiliate for another
exactly.
for a
I
phone?
get
So you just get a share. So you're more of an affiliate for another phone lookup place, so to speak.
That's right, for someone who provides this data. So
Okay.
I get a 75% commission, and of course, whoever's going to have the site gets 75% of all of the revenue.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Well, let me go back to that real quick then. So can you adjust these prices right here and to make them whatever you want, and you still get the 75%, or does that is that set, or do they set that prices?
Those are set. Yeah, those
Okay.
prices are preset.
And then this obviously is just the payment page
Exactly.
after they've begun to do it. So you use PayPal, and is that who you use as your credit card processor then as well?
Actually, ClickBank
Oh,
is doing the
ClickBank, sorry, yeah.
processing. Yeah, and then they do all of they take all the cards and pay plus
Right.
PayPal. So yeah.
So you don't need your own you don't need your own merchant account or anything. It just all goes through
Nope.
them.
Nope.
Okay.
I get a ACH deposit every Wednesday from ClickBank into the bank account of
And
whatever we
how delayed is that? Is that on a 30-day, or is that like for the last week you get all that money, or how does that work?
That's a great question. It's delayed one. Let's see. It's they've got a rolling allowance where they'll keep back a small percentage, and that
A
rolls
rolling
90
reserve.
days.
Okay.
And then there's a 2 week lag on the
Okay.
money.
Okay, great. Um Now do they charge you? I mean, for people charging back later on saying that they didn't want this, or how does that work? Do they handle all that for you too, or do you handle your customer service like that?
Nope, totally hands off. I mean,
Okay.
this is about as hands off gets. And the 10 yeah, and the 10% rolling allowance, what they call it, what ClickBank retains for 90 days, that's to offset any kind of refunds or that kind of thing. And but it's all you log into the ClickBank account and you can see all of the activity. It's all in detail, but at the same time they handle everything.
Right. Okay, great. So, and then this again is just a ClickBank page here. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
if that's when I took the screenshot, logged into actually you're seeing the actual ClickBank account when I was logged in with my account.
okay, and then that's showing you roughly what it does a week here. So you got the week of the 18th, it did 1,309. The 23rd, it was 1,217. Okay.
Right, and that's gross. Those are the
Right.
gross numbers.
Right.
Yeah,
And then that tells you this. What's this little chart down here? Is that what's
it's
the
just a
green
figure.
versus brown
I think it's just to so it's not
offset?
confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay. Perfect. You been is ClickBank pretty easy for work with? You enjoy working with them?
oh yeah, I've yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They've been around for I think like 15 years, and they're really easy to work with.
So this, I'm assuming, is just your daily logs, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is it looks like we took that in beginning of December. You see December 12th and 11th, 10th, 9th, and so yeah, those are just the individual orders as they've come in.
Okay. And again, this is all just without doing anything. You don't buy anything to boost you on Google. You're not buying a
No,
single piece of traffic, huh?
no. I pay I think it's $65 a year for hosting, and then the domain name itself needs to be renewed, which is like $10 or something.
Okay.
So
Tell me about this.
Okay, that's just a screenshot of the files that make up the site. Basically, it's a custom script and written in PHP that generates the pages and all the data and just handles it. So I'm showing there. That's just those are just the files that are uploaded to the server. So when someone goes to whosephoneisit.com, that's what comes up. Or that's what is
Right.
the files behind the scenes that creates the website, and those are technically another site could be built using these. So whoever has these files, they own this software, and they could do whatever they want with it if they want to do another one or whatever.
So all
Um,
the source code, all these files, everything is going to come with it. Now, you said you're a coder. Did you write this, or did you have somebody else write it, or?
I wrote a little bit of it, and I had someone else write the bulk of it because I don't code in this kind of environment. I do something completely different.
And this
So
this is a standard coding, so whoever purchases it, they'll be able to just hire outsource a programmer if they're not one, and be able to
absolutely,
pick up where it left off, so to speak.
yeah, totally. And there's tons of guys out there that can do this. It's just PHP and
Okay,
HTML. It's simple.
great. And there's a little
Little
glimpse of the
snippet of the
code.
code. Yeah.
Okay.
Of
And
course,
that,
there's much more to it than just that, but there's a
right, right, sure, for sure. All right, and then this is well, I guess this probably should have been back there a little ways with that other
yes.
slide. This wasn't. That's odd. I'm sorry about that. I got it mixed up. So, this was probably what you're talking about. That was before that one slide, correct?
This was before the little what is that thing? Little left to right arrow horizontal bar thing searching one that we saw. So someone would have typed in the phone number and then hit that, and then they would have got to that page that we looked at
Right.
earlier.
Okay. Cool.
And then I guess we'll see. Okay.
And then here's your revenue. It shows that you were five, six, 700, $800, and now just since November, I guess you've really just been increasing. Is that's just from time served, I guess, huh? Being on the web and just it's just starting to come around now, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so it's basically it's organic, like I said, and there's a lot of different search engines, but the bulk of it's Google. I mean, the bulk of anybody's traffic is probably Google. So
Right,
so you're kind of it's when you kind of catch a wave in Google and they start ranking you, it could take a couple of months, few months for that to happen initially, and then until you get noticed and that kind of
right.
thing. So that's why you see kind of the slow start there.
And folks, this was put together back when we first took the listing originally. So when you log into latonas.com and look at this actual listing in Latonas, there will be up to date revenue and uniques and page view stats in Latonas. So it won't stop at November of 2014. It'll bring us up to current. So you'll be able to look at those numbers as well. So expenses, you just got not much. He said it's just strictly your domain name and hosting. So $65 a year plus another $10, so about $75 a year probably.
Something like that,
You
yeah.
know, so I guess go ahead. I mean, you keep saying it's hands off, but you know, next. So tell us a
Okay.
little bit about the day to day operations.
The data, I mean, some days I don't even look at it. Otherwise, I'll sit there and, I like to refresh the screen on ClickBank and see, more sales that came in and that kind of thing. But really, I mean, you could go weeks without looking. I mean, it just happens by itself. We've already, I won't walk through the whole process again of what it is, but people, there's this website's there. There's tons of pages listed in Google. People punch in a phone number just by virtue of the fact that we have so many pages. This website comes up, and then they punch in the phone number, and if they decide to buy the report, it's handled by ClickBank, get 75% commission. Every Wednesday, ClickBank does an ACH deposit into my bank account. Um, it's really however long that takes for me to log into my bank account and look at that, I guess is the amount
Right.
of, and to kind of look at ClickBank. I mean, someone could, conceivably do more with this. I mean, someone could, someone that I don't know if there's someone that they know more about, buying traffic or doing something different, different search engines, or they have some, they're kind of involved in this. They can certainly spend more time on it, I suppose, and maybe make it, far better than even what I've got here. Um, but this is what I've done, and this is, the extent of what I do with it.
Right.
Um, so
All right. Well, that's gonna, you bring us to this one. She kind of explains site growth, future expectations, and I mean, you pretty much hit it ahead. Someone that might know SEO or more around traffic purchasing, they could expand it from that.
exactly.
Maybe like you were talking about earlier, setting up more sites using the same back end and just getting your names out there more.
Right.
So this next one is the almighty question, which everybody's always up to asking, especially when
Sure.
you talk about how you don't do anything but sit on the beach and watch the money roll in.
Yeah,
So, well,
that's okay.
why sell?
Right. Well, that's my problem. See, I don't sit on the beach and watch the money roll in. I'm always getting into different things, and I always have lots of projects, and I work. I work at home. I have a home office, and I have a couple of different businesses, and I'm always working, and it's kind of what keeps me going. And basically, I mean, this has been nice, and this is, as you can see, the numbers, and it's fantastic. But at this point, I'm uh, kind of rounding up some capital to leverage into another project, and uh, that's kind of what I'm doing at this point. I'm always kind of starting new things, and that's just kind of what keeps me going. So,
Perfect.
all right.
So, I've been answering most of the questions as we've been going along. I got a couple of guys in here that have been asking me the questions, and so there's not a lot more for me to ask, unless there's anything, Mark, that you think that we haven't gone over that you might want to add in there before we shut her down.
Nope, I think we've really covered everything. I mean, it's pretty thorough, unless someone, does have a question and something I'm
No,
not.
I don't know if you mentioned before. You said that you've got over 800,000 pages in Google or whatever. Now, those are all stuff that you've put out there on the web, or just through this site, or how does that work?
Okay, good. That's a good question. The site, if you notice, I don't know if you go back to one of those slides where we can actually see the page itself, right? Well, the first couple of,
Let's see
and then
here.
maybe just jump back to the end after or whatever. But yeah, there you go.
This one here?
Yeah, sure. Um, so you'll notice like the phone numbers or in this case, the area codes, they are blue. They are hyperlinked. So if you were to click on one of those on the live site itself, that's going to go to another page. Like if I were to click on that Alabama 205, then I come up with another page with a bunch of 205, and then it starts at like 200, and then it goes 201, 205. Like it'll have tons of phone numbers on
Right,
there. And then if you were to click down on each one of those, you come up with another page with a bunch of more specific phone numbers, like the actual phone number. So you go like area code, you click on it, you get area code and prefix, you click on that, and then you get like the whole phone number. And each page is loaded with lots and lots of phone numbers, so that as these websites are crawled, um, the robot, if the like let's say Google's
right,
robot or Bing or Yahoo actually looks at all of the it just starts like crawling through the links and then indexing all of those pages in that search engine. So I only really submitted this one, the main page itself, and then from there they kind of branch out, spider web out, and they're all interconnected. In fact, at the bottom of the site, I also have URLs, other URLs of like, look up a phone number.com or whatever. I'm just using that as an example, as a
right.
example. But there's a few of them down in there, just so there's not only phone numbers, but there's words in there. Now, that all kind of has contributed to the SEO, um, and and making the web pages themselves relevant to that particular keyword, which in this case would be a phone number. And so the 800,000 pages aren't literally hosted on the server. The software will create the page in real time as soon as someone goes to that link. And so so it's pretty sophisticated in that way, so that so there's always a page there for every phone number, or every, let's say, area code and prefix, which of
Right.
course the prefix is the first 3 digits before the last 4 digits, um, on a phone number. So um, that's the long answer. I guess the short answer is they're all connected, submitted the main page, and the search engine crawls through all of them and has indexed all of these pages.
Perfect. Let's get here to the end real quick. I think that's all I got. I'm gonna check in these questions again real quick and see if there's anything else
Sure.
in there. That's pretty much it. So, Mark, thanks for your time. And anybody out there, if you guys are looking at this particular site or any other site that is listed on Latona's, you can go ahead and get a hold of Jamie Albano. That's his phone number, as in his email as well. And we look forward to doing business with